The retail and fashion industries are being hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. Millions of Americans rely on it for their livelihood. And the new research indicates, or predicts rather, global sales in the $2.5 trillion industry will drop up to 30%. It also expects a large number of global fashion companies to go bankrupt in the next 18 months. Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour and fashion director Tom Ford have teamed up to help those affected in the U.S. They created a fundraising initiative. It's called A Common Thread.
Our goal with A Common Thread is not only to highlight all of the designers whom you know and love, but also focus on those individuals who keep our industry running.
The challenges that we face are profound, but this fund, we hope, is a step in the right direction.
Only on CBS This Morning, Anna Wintour shares how the CFDA Vogue Fashion Fund, created as a response to 9/11, is being repurposed for this crisis, too. It's already raised more than $3 million.
Anna, I keep saying we are all forever changed by this, but let's focus specifically on the fashion industry.
Yes.
Because when we say fashion industry, it is so much more than the clothes that we wear or going to a designer store. It's much bigger than that.
Absolutely, Gail. I mean, obviously, behind every designer are seamstresses, pattern makers, embroiderers. There's a whole support system. When we were talking to Senator Schumer and Senator Gillibrand about the bailout for big businesses and small businesses, we came up with a number that the support system for the fashion industry equals 53 million jobs.
Let's let that sink in for a second, because I think when most people think of the fashion industry, they think hoity-toity, and
Right.
certainly doesn't apply to me. And that's just not true, is it?
No, it applies to everybody. And we are a community, and that is really what the little videos that we have out on Vogue.com and on our CFDA are talking about.
I'm a pattern maker at Brandon Maxwell.
I'm the assistant to the fashion designer, Alexander Wang.
I'm the press manager at Area.
We don't have, this huge financial backer that's going to help us through this. We just have our community and our customers, and they're hurting just as much as we are right now.
It's this enormous part of our economy that is being decimated right now. And why we decided at the CFDA and Vogue to come together and really try and do something to help the way we did after September the 11th when we launched the Vogue CFDA Fashion Fund. We decided that we would repurpose that, Gail, to help the small businesses and the small designers within our community, because they are the future generation of American fashion. We were so lucky to be given an inaugural grant of $1 million by Ralph Lauren himself. I burst into tears. I mean, I just couldn't believe the generosity.
We talk about small business and brands that will probably be the hardest hit at this particular time. Are you worried about the new voices in fashion being left out?
And that was really, really the reason that we launched or repurposed a fashion fund into A Common Thread. We're going to be giving out what we call microloans, like 5, 10, 15, 20, up to $100,000, just to try and help the ones that we feel need it the most so that they can get through these next few months and be able to survive.
This has certainly been a pandemic of numbers. And I want to throw this out at you. It says, a new report says 80% of publicly listed fashion companies in Europe and North America will be in huge financial distress. Do you ever think this industry can go back to normal?
We are actually hosting a Vogue Global Conversations next week over a 4-day period where we are going to talk about the future of the runway show. We're going to talk about the future of e-commerce, the future of creativity, and the future of retail, because there's no way we're going back to the way things were. I think, a lot of us were talking a lot about sustainability and the fact that we were all flying so much and the shows were so big and so expensive. And these issues, these really important issues, have been thrust upon us in a much more significant and immediate way. And these are questions that everybody is asking.
You shared the story about your son, who is really one of the people on the front lines.
So proud of my son. He's a doctor, and he is right back in the emergency room in the COVID wards right now. And
because he was sick for a while, wasn't he, Anna, with corona?
He was pretty sick. I'm sure you've heard from many others that so many doctors and so many nurses, got sick. But once he was determined to go right back in and help and do everything he can. And thank goodness that we have Governor Cuomo helping us through this, because you feel he's telling us the truth. He's compassionate. I think that we have somebody in New York who is a true leader.
How are you handling quarantining? Do you have a ritual? Do you have a routine? For instance, are you dressed right now on the bar?
Pretty much as dressed as I am every day, but
Do you have on pants, Anna Wintour?
I am wearing sweatpants, yes.
Sweatpants, okay. All right, because I'm wearing shorts. I'm getting ready to work out, and I was wondering what Anna was going to wear, because, listen, you always look impeccable. Your hair is done. Did you do your own hair today? You're doing
I did.
It looks good. It looks good. Anybody who knows Anna says she loves to play. She loves to laugh. So I'll say this. I'll put on my glasses if you'll take off yours.
Absolutely. Deal.
Nice to see you, Anna Wintour.
Nice to see you too, Gail. Thank you for having me.